also want to commend Sarah herself as well. Sometimes she's a lone voice in this building. She's the only person that voted no at the South Australian voice. So I want to commend her for that. She shows courage and conviction that some of the other politicians aren't. And Nikki, if you're listening, I know you said not to read off a bit of paper, but this time I have to do that. So. I speak on behalf of the Honourable Sarah Gane, who's a member of the Legislative Council here in South Australia. Sarah, regrettably, is unable to attend today, but extends her heartfelt gratitude to you for your presence and your ongoing support. Sarah Gane, the One Nation member of the South Australian Parliament, was the first South Australian member of Parliament to oppose The Voice. Australia prides itself on unity. Today, our unity is challenged by the proposed federal voice. The Uluru Statement speaks of the voice, treaty and truth. Yet the clarity on these elements remains elusive, particularly concerning what a national treaty would actually entail. Treaties are akin to contracts with legally binding responsibilities. We must be wary as we approach the First Nations voice referendum on October the 14th. This is not merely about recognition, but risks permanent division with unforeseeable legal consequences. Branded as racist. This narrative is misleading. Our multicultural society is the envy of the world, and a vote against The Voice is a commitment to maintaining that unity. Amending our Constitution, a document that belongs to every Australian, for one specific group raises some questions and concerns. We cannot risk encouraging division. This initiative also comes with significant financial implications, and a lot of this has already been touched on. The South Australian Voice will have 46 elected local members, with an extra 56 members of various advisory committees. That's a total of 102 members with guaranteed resources. So with Australia finding itself voting on a referendum for The Voice at a reported cost of $364 million, we have to ask ourselves, where could these resources be better utilised? Especially when current Indigenous funding already exceeds $100 million per day. This is not written on the sheet, but where is that money going? That's $100 million a day. Former High Court Judge Ian Cullinan, who has a title for the Order of Australia and also King's Counsel, warns that there will be years of constitutional and administrative challenges. The state-based voice in South Australia, implemented without public consultation, is becoming a costly bureaucratic layer, highlighting the dangers of insufficient planning. Sarah Gane, the One Nation member of the South Australian Parliament, urges Australians to consider the consequences of this referendum. The resources diverted to The Voice could address other pressing concerns, like the spurring costs of living. Let's prioritise unity, transparency and policies that benefit all Australians, based on need, not on race. That is why she's voting no. Thank you.
Very, very good. All right, here's a bit of a special treat. Len Harris, Senator Len Harris, an old mate of mine. Len Harris is doing some extraordinary work. He and Rod Cullerton have got programs heading to the UK, but I'll let him speak about it. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the smartest, wisest and kindest men I've had the privilege of meeting, Senator Len Harris.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much for having me here today. I do have some bad news to some of you who aren't aware what the people who sit in there have done to you. In 2013, Jay Weatherill, as the Premier of your state, made a decision to cancel all of your title deeds.
Jay Weatherall is a murderer.
In 2013, Jay Weatherall, as the Premier of your state, in a meeting totally outside of the Parliament structure, isn't that interesting? Yes. So, again, starting again. Jay Weatherall in 2013, without consulting the Parliament, started a process that ended up in 2017 cancelling all title deeds throughout South Australia. No one here or anywhere in the whole of South Australia have any legal proof that you own your home. The only thing that links your name to your property description is a piece of binary code with your name and the lot number. Now, listen to what I'm saying to you. Title deeds do not exist in the whole of Australia now. They've been in effect since the mid-1800s. The system has worked perfectly. Now, as I said, a piece of binary code on a private company's computer. So, what do we do about this? Anyone got any ideas? Dissolve the Parliament. Okay, now I've got to rattle a little bit quick. Rod Cullerton and myself, both former senators, are taking a petition to the House of Commons in England. The reason we're doing that is in your Australian Constitution, the first 9 sections of it are the Empowering English Act that created the Commonwealth. Section 2 and Section 5 have been violated by Whitlam, Rudderless, and all of the rest of them. So the problem actually lies in England. It is up to the English House of Commons to rectify the injury that has been done to their act. We're not asking them to change our constitution at all. We're asking them to fix their section of it. So I have down there at the table a couple of folders there with petition, sets out the petition. We're asking for the House of Commons to actually produce documentation to authorise King Charles to declare the Governor-General's position vacant, the position of all state governors vacant, all judges who have been appointed under Part 3 of the Constitution. So that's everything from the High Court down to the Magistrates Court. Then, any person who has sworn or affirmed allegiance to the false Queen of Australia are ineligible to stand for public office. So that takes out all of your councillors, okay? People say, well, how do you think that you can get this through? Well, as I said to you, it is the English Act that they have injured. And England once notified with over 100,000 signatures. So that's what Rod and I are setting out to do. Yes, it may take us 6 months to get them, but we will get them, and you can help us. All right? Come and see me down there at the table. I've got some brochures. Take a brochure. It explains in more detail why the actual House of Commons has the power. We also know that the Privy Council has already given what we are doing the tip. So if our not so friendly King decides not to do anything, the actual yeah, Queen Charles. I never said that. Yeah. So if King Charles, because he is wedded to the one world government and everything, the actual Privy Council has the power through the Lord's spiritual and the Lord's temporal to actually declare the positions that we want declared vacant. They have the power to do it. That over a 12-month period will bring on a federal election, a state election in every state, every council, and none of those people are eligible to be re-elected. Thank you.
And just